Giving children crayons and free rein to draw whatever is on their mind can sometimes result in unexpected works of art. But other times, kids can draw things that are strange, disturbing, and downright creepy. These are the stories behind 4 of the most disturbing children's drawings on the internet. Hanging Girl. In 2019, a woman by the name of Meredy uploaded this chilling drawing to Facebook, explaining that her 7-year-old daughter had drawn it in school. Her daughter, Sydney, whose real name was not revealed, enjoyed online gaming and often spent time watching YouTube videos and playing games like Fortnite, where she would sometimes communicate with other gamers. In her Facebook post, Meredy mentioned that one night, her daughter had a full-blown anxiety attack. Meredy claimed that her daughter had always been easygoing and sociable, and that the anxiety attack had happened completely out of the blue. She tried to calm her daughter down by holding her and singing to her, and it seemed like she was okay when she went to school the following morning. That day, a teacher called Meredy on the phone to let her know that Sydney had made a very disturbing drawing, and that she had been visibly upset the whole day. She hadn't interacted much with her classmates, and her teacher said that Sydney seemed more quiet and withdrawn than usual. As soon as Meredy saw the picture of the drawing that the teacher had sent her, she immediately picked up her daughter from school to talk to her. Sydney explained that she had been watching a Doki Doki cartoon on YouTube Kids the night before, when suddenly the screen turned into an image of some of the characters of the cartoon hanging from a noose. According to Sydney, there was also text in the video telling her to hurt herself. Disturbingly, one of the videos even showed her how to end her own life. In another kid's cartoon that she had seen that night, about 2 minutes into the video, there was a clip of a man hurting himself with a knife and instructing the audience to do the same. Understandably, the videos left Sydney traumatized, and Meredy posted the image to Facebook along with a warning to other parents to keep their kids safe online. Even though Sydney was given counseling to help her get through the shock, Meredy reported that her daughter had been deeply affected by the incident. Meredy's post was shared over 400,000 times, and YouTube eventually took down the disturbing videos, but probably not before being seen by thousands of children around the world. Violent drawings found in North Carolina school. This drawing was discovered less than 3 months ago in May 2023. It's part of a series of violent and creepy drawings that were found in Wake Forest Charter Academy in North Carolina. According to police reports, the drawings were made by 2 6th-grade students who are now being investigated. One of the pencil drawings in this series of sketches shows dead people lying face down on the floor with the words "die" written across the page, while another shows a boy with a rope around his neck. The most disturbing drawing, which has not yet been made publicly available by the police, has the word "help" written 17 times on the page and shows a group of people face down on the floor in what appears to be a school classroom. The police and the school are now in communication with the parents of the 2 students who allegedly drew the violent pictures, but because the case involves 2 minors who didn't commit any kind of crime, no other information has been released to the public yet. Still, the drawings themselves are pretty disturbing, and teachers at Wake Forest Charter were relieved that the police interfered before anything happened. The drawings were found after a streak of school shootings in the area. Just this year, 3 school shooting incidents had been reported in North Carolina, and after seeing the drawings, teachers were concerned that it could happen again. Most school shootings are carried out by students, and many times the perpetrators show very clear signs of their intentions before they become violent. In some cases, the shooters begin showing an unusual interest in guns and other weapons for months or weeks before they carry out the shooting. And other times, they make threats and announce their intentions to friends or acquaintances. Whether these drawings could be considered a warning sign is up to the police and the kids' parents. It's unknown what exactly the students were planning and what they could have done had the police not stepped in. But more details on this case will probably be revealed in the near future. Home intruder. The names in this story have also been made up to keep the identity of the victims anonymous. This drawing looks like any other innocent family portrait that a young child would draw, except for one thing. The black figure of the woman on the right doesn't exactly seem to fit with the rest of the otherwise cute drawing. The picture was drawn by a 5-year-old boy named Dylan. Dylan's dad, Pierce, claimed that because they had so many kids, he and his wife would often complain about how messy the house was, and that it was almost impossible to find lost or misplaced things. There were 8 kids in the house at the time this drawing was made, and aside from the constant chaos and disorder that had become normal for the family of 10, there was nothing out of the ordinary going on at the time. At least, that's what Pierce and Emily thought. Pierce was always the first one to wake up to get ready for work, and most of the time, his entire family would still be asleep by the time he left. The only family member that would be awake at the time was the dog, who would always be at the door waiting to be let out. Pierce would only see the rest of his family when he got home after work. One morning, Pierce woke up around 5 a.m. and went downstairs to get ready for work, and was surprised when he saw his youngest son Dylan scribbling on a piece of paper on the dining room table. It looked like he had been there for a while, and when his dad asked him what he was doing, Dylan showed him this drawing of the family. Pierce immediately asked why there were 11 people in the drawing if there were only 10 people in the family, and who the mysterious dark figure on the right was. Dylan answered that it was his friend, and that he had seen her in the house the night before. Although Pierce was creeped out by that point, he remained calm in front of his son and chalked it up to Dylan's vivid imagination. Disturbingly, when Pierce came home from work 8 hours later, Dylan was still sitting at the dining room table, and he had made several more drawings. In every drawing, the 10 family members were depicted, with the woman in black on the edge of the page. As soon as he saw the drawings, Pierce went out to buy a set of home security cameras, which he mounted in the living room, the dining room, the bedrooms, and every hallway of the house. He hoped that he was overreacting, and that this was just one of those times where a kid makes up a story out of boredom. But unfortunately, the reality was much more terrifying. That night, the security cameras caught an unknown woman sneaking into the house, stealing the family's clothes and the kids' toys, using the bathroom, eating food from their fridge, and even drinking milk directly out of the carton. Strangely, the family's dog, which was supposed to be the guard dog, didn't react at all when the intruder snuck into the house. Pierce immediately called the police, and the woman was arrested, but it was never confirmed how many times she had broken into the house before she was caught. Attic drawings. Sometimes, creepy things can turn up in abandoned houses. These drawings were found by a realtor named Mary Soroka in the attic of a house that had been vacant for several years. Mary was showing the house to potential buyers when she accidentally opened a pull-down attic space that hadn't been used since the previous owners lived there. In a viral TikTok posted in 2023, the realtor shows some of the children's drawings covering the walls of the pull-down attic. According to Mary, the drawings had dates on them from back in 2001. Most of the drawings seem normal enough, but a few of them are pretty disturbing. One of the messages in the drawings reads, "Did I scare you?" While another reads, "The persons who drew the naked people were James and Lucas." The drawings were signed with the names of at least 10 children. On some of the walls, there are off-putting drawings of naked people with very prominent private parts, which can often be a sign of abuse in children's art. While some of the viewers of the realtor's video said that the drawings looked perfectly normal, others weren't so convinced. One commenter, who claimed to be a child therapist, mentioned that the aggressive crayon strokes and distorted drawings were not drawn by happy or healthy children. Another disturbing detail is that the attic never had any air conditioning, so any kids playing up there would have been extremely hot during the day. It is still unknown whether these drawings were just the work of innocent kids having fun, or if there was something more sinister going on when they were made.